everybody. Welcome back to League Zero. This is season two, not season two. This would be season three, week two, if I could speak correctly. Double cap versus the bench. I am one of your casters. My name is Chungus. I am here with Alpha Omega.
Hello, I'm Alpha Omega. Glad to be here casting today, I guess.
I mean, it is a joy to do this. And as I said, this will be double cap versus the bench, and double cap recently coming off a 3-0 victory. The bench recently coming off a 0-3 loss. Alpha Mega, you got anything to say about these two teams right now?
I don't really have anything to say about the teams because I have not watched them play yet, but I know, especially having played in previous seasons, coming off a 3-0 loss is certainly something that, gets you fired up, that almost, it's something that can get you motivated to win your next game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that you just want to keep driving towards to get that next win. But Double Cap having that momentum of a 3-0 victory could also be really good for them. They're like, hey, we got this 3-0 victory. We got this. We're gonna keep going with these strides that we're making. And again, looks like they're putting in the roster right now. Tyler and Kate, these two we have to talk about. Tyler looks like such a good main tank. He looks like he's keeping the team together. He's keeping it consistent. And then Kate. Oh my god, Kate looks insane. Insane on that Zarya.
I mean, yeah, your tank line definitely probably your most important part of the team, just in terms of organized play. Because those DPS, although they can be high value, they can be shut down relatively easy. And tanks, they just have such a large health pool that it can sometimes be hard to shut them down.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I said here, I haven't seen much. Actually, I didn't say this. I don't know why I said that. But as I said before, previously, the bench comes off of a 3-0 loss. As what I have not seen or said yet is I have not seen the tank line for the bench, and I'm just kind of curious on how this is going to be able to play out. Can the off tank for the bench compare up to Kate's level, who has looked so dominant recently?
Uh, yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be a challenge to get to the level of a very high tank line, but it actually appears that it may not actually be Kata starting. It would appear that we're
They
might
will be. They're just not. Lobby's full.
uh, never mind. They will be just lobby issues because we're scuffed. Um, Anything else you gotta say about these teams before we get into this?
I think who we have to mention again, back on double cap side, you really can't look at this team and point out a weakness or like a weak player, but you can definitely point out the stronger characters in this team, and Madsen has to be one of them. Madsen Zarya or not Zarya, excuse me, Sombra looks really good. He constantly gets these 5-man, 6-man, 4-man EMPs that honestly bring so much value to the table, especially as a Sombra player. Consistently getting those is huge for the rest of the team to follow up on. Pingu being able to follow up with the Death Blossoms. We've seen quite a few Death Blossoms off him. Kate being able to throw in grabs or bombs. Tyler being able to follow up with possibly Shatters or Primal Rages. Madsen is like consistent on the Sombra. He's looked good on it, and I hope to keep seeing that from him.
Yeah, and definitely, Sombra is such a powerful hero right now in this meta, especially being able to say hack the enemy team's main tank and just give your team free reign to do whatever they want. It's certainly a powerful ability in itself, and EMP being able to shut down ultimates. In fact, it's definitely, I think it is the ultimate with the highest team fight win percentages. Am I correct in that?
Probably. I don't think we have any stats pulled up on that, but I mean, it would seem pretty likely. But we have focused a lot on double cap right now. I think we want to focus over to the bench. Specifically, I'm looking at right now Silvertails. I've seen a lot of this guy in Pugs. I was not able to see him perform last week, but I've seen a lot of him in Pugs, and he seems very consistent in the way he plays. He seems very consistent on that Moira, and honestly, if this guy improves at all, he could be very scary going into this match. Do you see anybody else on the bench who you could probably point out or be like, hey, watch this guy?
Possibly. I honestly don't know many of these players, so I can't really say anything about them. Uh, Maybe Slimal as a very good Lucio from what I seem to remember from him. But I think, just going back to the tank lines, if we will, the map that we are starting on tonight, which is Lijiang Tower, that's definitely a map, especially Control Center, if we ever get to it, is definitely a map that can be decided by the tank lines.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this Lijiang as a map is it's so versatile on what you can play on each point. There's Control Center, you can play those, Ryan Zarya comps. There's Gardens where you can play those dies, and there's Night Market where you can play a whole bunch of stuff. But saying that, we're going to be entering game right now, loading into the game, Lijiang Tower, and our first point will in fact be Control Center.
Certainly going to be interesting to see what the teams run out of the gate here. I would not be surprised to see a Junkrat coming out from either side, just given that he is so strong in these tight corridors that team fights often happen in, especially in White Room, which most teams start off on. And we will see the bench starting out on this Sim Junkrat composition that is extremely deadly up close.
Very, very deadly indeed. And if Madison decides to stick on this, Symmetra, it could be a very interesting count. It looks like Pingu will go back over to the Reaper, which is a little bit more standard, but I think as you said, that Junkrat puts in so much damage. We're just going to see how the support line holds up. But the TP is out, and both teams are ready to brawl. Tyler taking a big chunk of damage to begin with, and a huge chunk of damage, but the supports are right there to back him up. Grim also falling a little bit low, the ball was up, and Kate not going to have too much value just yet. Both teams poking, but Kate going to get the first big beams off Nebula. It looks like there's going to be the chance for Tyler to engage, gets the fire strike, burns off C-Team, and yep, here we go. Double cap starting to roll straight through the point, but nobody's on point to capture it, so I wonder. Yeah, they'll send Pingu back, and that was a pretty quick fight. Kate cleaning up right now with 2 kills.
Yeah, I think he actually got 4, or I think he got 3 by the end of that, and 3 of 5 elims for double cap going into this, if I'm correct. Certainly, being a high charge Zarya is something that is very scary. And given that he did not die, he's going to be keeping that energy going into that next fight, and Kenobi picking off Nebula.
He already has the grab. Here it comes out. Tyler just swinging away into it, and yeah, all the damage following up. It's just a complete team wipe. Nothing you can do there. The supports couldn't keep you up through that, and it's just so much damage.
Yeah, just the amount of damage that they have in this composition is insane. Tyler with a full 30% on his Shatter ahead of C-Team, but the Tire coming out from Nebula. And we'll see if it gets any value, especially with Kenobi.
The Shatter gets nothing, and as does the Tire. So 2 ultimates straight. Oh, the Shatter is huge! We're going to the ground with C-Team falls instantly. Pingu with the huge Death Buster to follow it up. That was great ultimate economy coming out from Double Cap.
Pingu just decides to take the fight into his own hands and gets 4 in that fight to turn it around for Double Cap. I thought it was going to be the bench taking that fight.
Not just yet. You can't count out Double Cap. The wall coming out early from the Symmetra grab as well. Solo grabbing Tyler. He's going to fall pretty fast. I mean, that's what you expect once you get solo grab. Now, bench will be taking the point, trying to control it right here. The grab is out. Will it be enough though to turn this fight? Madsen beamed down by his Symmetric counterpart. Pingu can't really find anything just yet. The point hasn't been flipped yet, and the Coalescence is coming out from Grimace. They still see a fighting chance, it looks like. But as of right now, this bench should be winning this fight. Pingu is going to be a lone survivor on point. Actually, it's going to be Grimace now. Be lone survivors on point, and yeah, that will be the bench taking this fight. But look at the percentage on this point. They got to 99%. That's huge.
I'm not sure if I agree with Grimace using the Coalescence there. Double Cap was already down 3 by the time he used it. I think that he might be regretting that. Shatter coming out finds
Oh!
4.
That was a huge shadow coming up from C team. C team is consistently finding these huge shatters, and his team is making sure that they are worthwhile.
Yeah, I mean, what more can you ask for from your Ryan? Just being aggressive, getting those 4-man shatters to win a team fight. That's always what you want to see as a team.
It is in fact always what you will see. Tyler going for the charge isn't gonna get anything. Is in fact going to be dead. The second he charges it, empty grin. Where is this coming from? Gets a 4K. The turret's really helping out there in the end.
Gets a 4K with 2 of them on the freaking turrets. I mean, again, those turrets, they do provide so much damage, but again, now Double Cap, they have 5 ultimates coming up to, what is that, 2 on the side of the bench? I think this might be a team, this should be easy for...
Oh my god! Watch the shatter and Pingu is there to follow it up! Huge ult coming out from Double Cap Conte!
They can't touch! They cannot touch!
They can't!
They have families!
Double Cap coming out, slamming the bench onto the ground and showing why this team won their previous match 3-0.
That's such a huge shatter coming out from Tyler, finding 5 people, and
Just
the
as a
DP.
point, it is pronounced cat.
Oh, yes, this is true.
Tyler gets 5 with that shatter, and the DPS are easily able to follow up with it. What more can you ask for from Team Synergy?
Not much indeed. And from what I've heard about this Double Cat team, they are really just a group of friends that are looking to play. And once you have that, once you just are a bunch of friends looking to play, these games become a lot more fun. It feels like they become a lot easier. But
Does look like we all have an almost mirror. The only difference between Cat and Seriator, the bench playing that Zarya, the Diva Zarya, and Cat on the Zarya was arguably his signature hero. We'll see how this plays out.
early, C team is hacked up, but so is Pingu. Pingu actually going to become unhacked here. He's looking to find his values again. Tyler is consistently sitting at below 50 health here. He's going to be healed up pretty fast now, and it looks like out of nowhere, Double Cap is just going to get the point and get these follow-up kills to not be boofing creatures. Sorry, I'm...
Double Cap? But just look at the ult economy between the Sombras. Matson already has his, and Empty is only at 60%.
Yeah, that is what they call a Sombra diff. And let's get a little bit of a late pick on the C team there. Now to
Also, Double Cap almost has every single ult for their team. I don't see this, being that tough for Double Cap, especially if they use Hot EMP here, which they do. And Matson finds 5 with it. That's
huge from Matson. Pingu gets the bubble monomoly. He's trying to use the Death Blossom. That's a questionable Death Blossom, but one that he uses nonetheless. And Tyler getting a pretty big primal there as well.
Granted, Double Cap did end up using 4 ults throughout that entire fight, but they were able to save that grab, which may pay off for them, especially if they're able to put some good combos into it. C team, oh no way, are they gonna get picks off of this?
I think they will.
No, not quite, but Matson picks off C team early. Slimal going down. Diva Bomb coming out. Is it going to find anyone? It is not. But Pinko gets spooked off by Slimal. Simmertal's finding Tyler. This is going back and forth.
This is indeed going back and forth. Looks like going to be C team jumping in right now, trying to find some stagger picks onto the point, trying to get this point turned around. Kate is still alive though. If he can't turn this around, it'd be huge. Pingu is hacked up. He's close to that Death Blossom though. Tyler gets bubbled in and is building up this auto charge rather quickly. Already.
I think we may see an EMP come in here from the side of the bench.
Big EMP coming out here from Empty Grin, but some has not seen anything yet. But 6 ults on Double Cap side, and he finds 4 with that EMP. That's huge. Oh, that is huge. That is a huge Death Blossom to follow up on that EMP. Kate will find C team. Pingu finding 4 in total in that fight. And it looks like Double Cap will take this first map 2-0.
I think what you could have seen there is the Sombra for the bench. definitely could have used that EMP slightly earlier. And I think that they would have been able to turn the fight.
Yeah, it definitely would have been a fight turner, and I don't know why they just held back on it for so long. You have to be aggressive with these ults, and if you're not going to be aggressive with the ults, I mean, you're essentially just sitting ducks for the other team to just rush into you.
Yeah. Pingu with 16 Death Blossom kills, averaging 4 per ult. I mean, the Reaper is just so oppressive at times.
Yeah, that Reaper puts in a lot of damage, and if you don't have that D over there helping your monkey, that Reaper is just able to press W and destroy your Winston. I don't know what to say about that map, to be honest.
It just looked, the first round did look a little bit rough for Double Cap coming out of the first round, but they definitely found their stride in that second round. As evidenced by them 100 to 0ing the bench.
Yeah, absolutely. And they looked very good coming out on control here. That Ryan Zarya and then shifting over to the Monkey Zarya, it seemed like there was like almost this. It seemed like there was this almost like phaseless shift. Like there was no difference to how they played from the Ryan and the Monkey, and I think that's really what is the key difference here is that Tyler is consistently playing this Monkey and this Ryan the same, but it looked like C Team was very hesitant when he went over to the Monkey compared to his Ryan.
Yeah, and I think, especially given that Suri was just tending to hesitate a little bit or like just lag behind C Team. C Team was often getting melted down pretty early on in the fights and having to retreat much earlier than he probably wanted to.
Yeah, definitely something that it's definitely something that you need your D.Va there to help, and it didn't seem like Creator was hacked that often. So if he would be, I don't know if that's like a little bit of a like no synergy between the tank line at all, but I think Creator needs to play with CT more, or CT needs to play a little less fast, a little slower than he already is.
Yeah, it definitely seems that like Tyler and Kat, they seem to be just play together. They play better together than C Team and Seriator. We'll definitely see how it comes. We'll definitely see how the tank lines perform in our next map, which is going to be Hollywood. What sort of strats do you think we could see coming out here from both teams?
I think it's probably going to be the same kind of comps, that standard Monkey, D.Va, Sombra, and Reaper. But I have seen teams, this happens a lot, where on defense you run the Ana instead of the Moira, so we could see that variation coming out here. I know Grim did play it last week. We could see it come out here again. Who knows? We might not. It might just be another boring Moira map, but I think it would be pretty fun to see the Ana come out again.
Definitely, and I think you would see the Ana get a little bit more value on defense, which is what Double Cap will be starting on.
Yeah,
but they are starting on defense. Also, I think the Sombras will play a huge part in this map. And just given off of what Guardians was like, I think Matson may be able to carry this map over Empty.
Yeah, this is really gonna come down to which Sombra can build up those EMPs first or faster. And if Matson keeps playing the way he is, I think Double Cap is really going to stride in this match, and the bench is going to continue to struggle. I think MT right now has to find those little angles that Matson has been, where he's getting these like cheap shots in there, or he's getting the hacks off early in the fights, and then raining in so much extra damage. It seems like MT Green is just not getting as much value out of that Sombra right now.
Yeah, and we will see we will see Tyler and Kat on their, I guess you can say almost their signature Ryan Zarya. Grimace staying on the Moira for this round. I doubt we'll see the Ana coming out at least for this map, unless we end up going to extra rounds.
Yeah, it does in fact seem like there will be no Ana, but Kate getting down pretty low. One down below 50% of his health there, but he turns it right back around and gets a pick on the Nebula really early. That's huge. Tyler charging into the back line, gets C-Team, and this fight was over before it even started, but Slimewell does get a little bit of a late pick, or sorry, a little bit of he's like, I'm gonna back out, but I'm gonna take someone with me, and he took down Tyler with him.
And while yes, you were able to get Double Cap's main tank, he almost has Shatter already, and Cat almost has Grav. Like, to have 2 tank ults by the time the enemy team is only halfway to 1. Matson though, taking down early, but the Shatter finds 2.
Tyler, the Coalescence is out from Silvershade as well, giving him his team as much as he can. Grim not being able to get it just yet, but he does kill Slimewell in the process of getting it. Tyler just looking to get more and more ultras on the Shatter, and as I was talking about the Coalescence, it does come out. Grim finds Nebula with it. Tyler just charging, and he's fearless. He doesn't care. He knows he's got Kate backing him up, and again, another fight that seems over before he even started.
Just something I noticed, since Slimewell had gotten picked off, he was not able to build up a beat that could have kept the sustain going for the bench, which could have, in theory, won them that fight.
Yeah, but you have to have that beat for this Sombra ult anyway, so I think in the grand scheme of things, it might be a little bit better that he didn't have that ult. And as I'm saying that, he will be getting it right now. Matson still with his EMP.
Oh, C-Team.
Here, Matson, there it is, but the beat is there already to counteract it. Pingu does follow up with the Death Pulse on his own.
Pingu
Finds 2! But the pulse from the Mora is out here. Can it be enough? Slimewell gets Pingu, but Kate trades it out with pick onto Empty Grin. And Kate again beaming down Silver Stars, getting these picks, gets Creator out of mech, and another fight win for Double Cap, holding this point strong and stern.
Has Cat even used his grab this entire round? Because I don't think he has.
I don't believe he has just yet.
And especially if they're able to get the D.Va out of mech, that's going to be a free grab for them, because the bench does not have any support ultimates to follow up with it.
Yeah, that's very true. These full support elements last fight. Tyler goes for the shadow, but he completely whips it into the bubble. The Zariel is out, but it's gonna catch nobody. Well, it will catch the EMP Sombra, who is eventually taken down. The EMP only catches 3. That's the biggest EMP, and the view is there to counteract it. Kenobi follows up with a pick on a Nebula. Kate beams down Silvertails for the second time, and again another fight win.
Oh, the stagger.
Oh, the stagger. The humanity, don't do it! Don't do it! Oh.
I will say though, that was a good bubble from C-Team to block the Shatter, even if he did not mean to do it. But Tyler, he's halfway to another Shatter. What can this man not do?
Well, apparently land shatters, that's one thing he can't do. But Matson again with another EMP. This could be huge. It looks like it will be! It's an EMP! It's huge! Grim is following up with the Coalescence. Tyler is down, but it's not gonna matter as his team is cleaning up Pingu, rolling through the opposition, and only 15 seconds remain.
They might have to send the D.Va to be the D.Va to touch. Tyler, is he gonna be back in time? No, Tyler's not gonna be back in time.
Slimewell does get the touch though, that's huge. Actually, it might be too early, but they do get another touch with the monkey there. Tyler again just solo shadow. The disrespect. Pingu gets a pick off with that Death Blossom as well. The graph coming out, not really finding anything as everyone is already dead. And that's round 1. Not a single percentage going for the way of the bench.
I'm not entirely sure, but I think Double Cap only had 3 deaths that entire round. I could be wrong though.
I mean, you could be wrong. I wasn't exactly keeping track of it, but I think Tyler did die the most.
I think he died maybe like 2 or 3 times, but aside from that, I didn't really see anyone on the side of Double Cap go down that often. They were able just to sustain so well.
Yeah, I think that's just a testament to their supports. I mean, their supports are doing so much work. Grimace having that coalescence. I mean, literally, it seems like half a fight, man. It seems like every half a fight he has that coalescence, which is huge as a support player. And then
Oh, what is this comp coming out? This comp coming out from the bench. They're gonna be running Torb Junkrat with a Mercy.
it's definitely not a standard comp you would see on defense, but it is a comp that you can run nonetheless, and it looks like the bench is going to be opting to run it. It looks like there will be a pause coming out from Double Cap though. Seems like Grimace is having some ping issues. Yeah, Grimace is having a little bit of connection issues right now. But while we have this time, what are some key things that we can go over from that last round that could help the bench in this round?
I noticed that C team was just generally being a bit almost too aggressive. Like he was going over the roof rather than just trying to get into the back line with his diva at the same time, not really having anyone to like come with him to dive. And he was, and I think that's something big that you want to avoid as a Winston.
Yeah, and especially trying to dive in this meta, you're not really supposed to dive. You're supposed to take these engages as a brawl team, and the fact that C Team is trying so hard to dive in here and use these jumps on engage is really, really hurting him right now.
So almost certainly, we will be seeing Grimace actually on the Ana. I thought they may not play it on offense. But really, all that Double Cap is looking for here is possibly that or not Double Cap, or no, it is Double Cap. Probably what they're looking for here is just the EMP, because if they're able to get like a hack onto like the Mercy, yeah, we're out of the pause.
Yeah, the pause is out of the way and the match is underway. Now Double Cap is still on this Ryan Zarya, which I mean it looks very comfortable for them, so I don't blame them. C Team looking to meet them right there. Tyler instantly bursts it down, but Kate finds the pick on the Nebula. The Rez is out there though, so the Rez instantly gets him back up. Pingu just looking to get as much charge as he can. C Team falls to the sound of Kenobi. Those little sound balls bar it down again. Kate finds two. That's huge. Creator does get a pick onto Pingu, but looks like it's not gonna matter as the Torb is the only one left, and I don't even know what to say.
That was a 39-second attack from the side of Double Cap. That just looks dominant.
And as Fimi Jargo says, who even needs Tyler? They were down on the entire fight, and they still were able to bring it back. If that's not a testament to how synergized and how good this Double Cap roster is looking, I don't know what is. I mean,
certainly, and I think the big thing there was Nebula got rezzed on the far after he was picked, and then C Team ended up going down, and Slimal did not have the res for that. I think had they saved that resurrection, I think they may have been able to turn it around with a res on the C Team.
They definitely could have, but something to note there is that Kate had 25 high energy elims out of his 28 elims, which is quite nuts for full holding and then taking it as fast as they did. That's a very, very good stats coming out from Kate, and I think the tank I literally don't think there's a single person you could look at on Double Cap and be like, that's the person who's bringing this team down. It seems like everybody excels at the role and they're pushing this team further and further into greatness.
Definitely. They just seem so well, synergized that sure these teams have only been around for a few weeks by this point, but I have no clue what's going on behind the scenes, but it feels like they've just been scrimming so much that they figured out how to play with one another and just go off of each other's strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this team, it looks like they've been playing for the past 3 years together. I mean, they look so in tune with each other. And I think that's really a testament to Fimi's managing and all the coaching staff being able to bring this team together so quickly. In fact, as you said, this league has only been in session for 2 weeks, and in total, teams have only been together for, I believe, 3. that is insanely fast to build up this energy that they have already. And I think that's really a testament to Fimi's managing and, as I said, the coaching staff being able to build up the synergy and build up this coordinated play. And I think some of that does come from Double Cap last season. Fimi was on Double Cap last season, and as somebody who was also on that team, I can really tell you that if you play together as friends and just as a team, it changes the way that you guys play completely.
Exactly. And I think, while yes, you do want to take a league seriously, there's also a thing to be said for taking it a little less seriously and just playing with what are essentially your friends, and being able to just heck even like joke around while in the middle of a match. There's something about that that keeps you relaxed but also focused at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. Knowing that you can depend on your teammates that are always behind you is something that is huge in a game like Overwatch. And it looks like we will have the next map. It will be Gibraltar. Double Cap still sticking with this defense, but Gibraltar is a pretty Winston heavy map, so we'll probably be still seeing that Winston. We will probably be seeing that Winston come out from Tyler again, but it looks like TIE Fighter will be going in and Kate going out to the DPS role. That's pretty interesting.
That is certainly interesting. My best guess is that they might be putting TIE Fighter on. Well, he's obviously going to be on the off tank, but I would not be surprised if we see him on the D.Va rather than the Zarya. I think I saw it during the last map that Double Cap was talking about putting Cat on the legs. So
Oh no.
we might have a legs spotting in the middle of a Sombra meta.
This may just be a legs moment. They might think that they're running away with this match, so they want to put Kate on the legs, so yeah, I don't know, but
It certainly seems like they're running away with this match so far.
yeah. But I think you touched on it earlier where you said TIE Fighter going for the D.Va, and to be honest, TIE Fighter from the past, from what I've seen, TIE Fighter is a very, very good D.Va. So putting him in here with Tyler, I think this could be a very interesting tank duo.
Yeah, especially on such a dive-heavy map such as Gibraltar, where you have so much high ground to control, having a good dive tank line is certainly a benefit.
Yeah, it definitely is a benefit having that tank line, that monkey D.Va. We haven't even seen Cat's D.Va, so we don't know how good he is at the D.Va. But it looks like he's kind of like a Zarya specialist, so maybe they have TIE Fighter as sort of their D.Va specialist, and that's why he's coming in now. But nonetheless, Kate again on the DPS is going to be a little bit of BM coming out from Double Cap here, and I don't think you can necessarily blame them, but I mean, it's not necessarily the best thing you should do in this scenario. But looking over at the bench, I think this is definitely a chance for the bench to take advantage of Double Cap doing this and turning the momentum into their favor.
Certainly, especially since I'm not sure we'll actually be seeing Pivot subbing in for C Team. I'm not sure what the bench is going for here.
Yeah, I have no idea either. I am not familiar with Pivot in the slightest. I've actually never seen Pivot play before. So this is going to be pretty interesting to see how he can, synergize with Creator on this off tank, seeing as C Team has been in these past few maps. But it looks like the R's are flying to the chat, and yeah, they are. And we're getting into Gibraltar, which could be potentially the final map of the series.
Although I think at this point, bench might just be trying stuff, putting in Pivot on the main tank. Although because I think Pivot is going in on the main tank, they could just be experimenting with him to see if he plays better than C Team.
They could, in fact, be doing that. It is something that is not it's not completely out of the ordinary to see teams doing that where they're in these kind of matchups and they're like, maybe if we do this, it'll work. Just throwing anything out there to see if they can somewhat, just somehow bring the match back in their favor. And I mean, you really can't blame them.
And there it is. Cat is coming out on the legs. Oh boy, this is going to be an odd one.
It's going to be a very odd one indeed, especially since the soldier buffs aren't even out yet. I mean, come on.
Yeah, they're just on experimental.
You could have at least waited. You could have at least
You
waited.
could have waited. Matson coming out on the Widowmaker. Not sure how I feel about this against, you know, a Winston that, you know, can very easily dive you along with the Diva.
Looks like they're not gonna care.
Yeah, they don't seem to care right now.
Pivot
Right now, they're
still-
just getting free push.
Pivot trying to look to just poke at anyone he can, but
Cat's always he's halfway to his visor.
Cat nearly had a visor already. That is insane build up from him. The lead coming in from Pivot. He's bursting on so fast, and Tyler gets the better of the monkey duel. And again, Nebula gets bursting on so fast, but it looks like it's going to be the trade out. But actually, never mind. Kate gets rezzed up pretty fast, and the drop coming down from Kate, actually from all of DC onto the point, and yeah, they're gonna force bench off pretty quickly.
And Cat has already built up to his attack visor in less than 50 seconds.
That is
That is certainly something. It seems like they're going to be trying to build up for a nano visor, almost, given that they are running Kenobi on the Ana. Tyler gets picked early, though.
very early. Kate pulling out the visor. He gets one. Can he get two? He should be able to get Pivot here. And he will get Pivot. Silvertall has tried to use that Cold Lessons to keep up Pivot, but it just wasn't enough. Nebula also very low as his creator in out of his mech. And again, Kate nearly 50% again to another visor. After he literally just used one, Nebula, one and done. Out of the game, out of here, sayonara, Kate with a double kill on. This is just a little bit disrespectful.
A little bit disrespectful. This is Mega BM coming out from the side of Double Cap to run the Soldier 76 in a meta that has almost been dominated by Reaper and Sombra. That's certainly something.
It certainly is something. Pivot trying to make as much space as he can with Creator.
MD
Grin getting the better of that Widow 1v1. It's a huge pickup, but it's going to be rezzed up pretty quickly. Kate already with another visor here this fight. That's going to be huge for him, and he's pulling it out already. He's pulling it out against the primaling Winston. Not something you'd like to see. Nebula taken down to half from that visor. Creator out of mech, but he also has that bomb there. She's just going to be able to get remech pretty fast. Slimo, Great Lucio's on to Matson, but TIE Fighter gets the better of Pivot. And the bomb from TIE Fighter also out. It looks like it's not going to get anything, but it will clear a lot of space and make a lot of space. Actually, it does get the mech of Creator. That's going to be huge for this fight, as Creator is out of the fight already. Nebula takes out Tyler. So the main tank out of the fight. Well, as I say that, the main tank gets rezzed back up.
and Cat almost has another visor.
Cat almost has another fight. Adam,
This man is building a visor every minute.
this
Practically.
man is building. This man is building faster than the Great Wall of China. Faster than the Great Wall of China was built. I mean, this man is just insane at building these visors. I genuinely don't know what to say. Matson gets dived again. Is out of the fight. The visor already back up. Silvertail's the first one to fall. Pivot following him, but that one was to the
Oh,
shot.
the sleep.
Played by Nebula. He still has that Death Blossom. Not going to be used here though, as Kate does kill.
Oh, Serrator almost capped that.
It would have been pretty funny if he did cap that, but unfortunate. Did not get the cap, and this is last fight territory if they can even get a touch.
It looks like they'll probably be sending the Lucio to touch. Or they'll just all be going in at once, but they don't really have any abilities to get to the cart. They may not touch.
No,
Nope,
they did
they're
get
already
a
able to touch.
Tracer, Tracer gets the touch, but Pivot instantly bursts it down. He got anti there. A little unlucky from him. Nebula pulls it out, pulls out that the Death Blossom. TIE Fighter trying to bringing it back with a bomb. There's a TIE Fighter! A huge bomb coming out from him! TIE Fighter showing why he was put in for the Diva. Slimal, the only one left out going Kazi because the Duke came melee actually with at that. And a huge turnaround from TIE Fighter closes out the first round for holding it once again.
Granted, very close to not. Granted, Bench very close to capping that first point, but in the end, they were not able to cap. And double cap, well, they're not going to have to live up to their name and actually double cap to win the match.
I mean, as you put it, I mean, double cap only need to get essentially 1 point cap here, and that is huge, especially on a map like Gibraltar, where it seems like at any point you can cap the point. It seems like just trying to full hold this and knowing that you have to full hold it or it's all over could put a lot of stress on the bench. And if they really do run out on it looks like they are going to run out on the Bastion Torb.
This is like peak silver gameplay. Running the Bastion Torb. I
don't know what I'm seeing here. I don't know what I'm seeing. Honestly, I don't want to know what I'm seeing.
And Tyler, he may just be memeing in spawn, but he's out on the ball. No, he's going to be swapping onto the Winston. But if Double Cap does take this on this map, the bench will have not captured a single point throughout the series.
That is true, and that would be pretty devastating for a team. Hopefully, I mean, honestly, I'm kind of rooting for the bench right now, man. I want to see the bench take this back.
I kind of want to see this Bastion Torb work, but I just have a feeling that Double Cap, they're just too organized to let that happen to them.
Yeah, and honestly, right now, they're just getting a bunch of free card push because nobody on the bench can really stand up to them against on the cart. But it looks like the dive will be going in, trying to get this Bastion person on as much as he can. It'll get so low with the immortality fields coming in to save them, and with TIE Fighter on the mech. You don't
No,
really
he
want
got it again already. What?
He got mech back again. He was to farm that Bastion while he was in the mortality field. And he's already bad with his team and DMing his Widow, so that's huge. Kate just pushing cart for free here. And if they don't rotate, he can just push this cart all the way to the end.
I'm surprised that they haven't rotated it yet.
Silvertails does get a pick on the TIE Fighter though, it's huge.
They're just pushing for free. There's the rotation coming out from the bench.
Yep, the rotation finally coming out. Tyler just sitting on point, not expecting it at all. Emdragon is able to take him out of the fight. Creator following up with a pick onto Kate. Kenobi trying to get an anti into this Bastion. He's looking for the hero play. Can he get it? Kenobi, you're so close. But no, unfortunately.
No, he can't.
Not gonna get it. No.
Double Cap does have this nano visor coming out though, although Tyler just jumping in without his Ana. Some of the decisions in this game have been very questionable.
Absolutely, TIE Fighter just pushing this cart for free right now. 1v1ing Creator on that cart for cart percentage. Tyler going back to the cart, trying to push it as much as he can without getting poked by that Bastion. Bastion falls again! What will we see this time? Will we see a repeat of last time? Constantly gets one with that visor. No more immortality field for the side of the bench. The bomb comes out from Creator, finds absolutely nothing. That's in so low. He actually gets the Bastion! And they don't have the rest for the Bastion as they res the Baptiste. Grimace actually finds the pick on the pivot. A little bit of Battle Mercy action, but this window could be proving useful. As Silvertails get Kate, he also gets TIE Fighter, and this is actually not looking too good for Double Cap right now.
Although the bench is now off of the Bastion and onto the Tracer of all things, but it appears that there's going to be a pause coming out from the bench. Not sure why yet. I was not expecting that Bastion comp to work as well as it did. Oh, Curator has disconnected. That's not good.
Curator is gone. You will be missed. 07s fly through the chat as for the loss of Creator. But that Bastion strat, I don't know how it worked for as long as it did, but it worked. It worked somehow.
That had no right to work as well as it did at this level. I'm I'm just
Yeah.
confused at this point.
I as well am a little confused here, but we will see two pretty big ults coming up for double cap in this fight. We will see the Primal Rage and the Self Destruct coming out from the tank line, and that could completely change the tide of this fight. If you get a good bomb, and we did see that TIE Fighter can pull out these clutch bombs when needed, or Tyler just being able to swat enough of them away or get enough kills with the Primal Rage to really turn this fight. This is really going to be the struggle point for the benchers finding a way to counteract the tank ultimates from double cap.
I will say though that Nebula does have his molten core here, and if he's able to, spread that around the cart, um, just around the area of the cart, he may be able to burn Tyler down even while Tyler's in his primal rage.
That is true. That molten core burns your health so fast. I mean, you're in primal rage 1 second, and the next second you're like, "What just happened to me?" All I heard was a Torb screaming in my face, and the next second I was dead, and I was in primal rage. But I mean, it's a very powerful ult, and if it's in the right hands, can be used. It can be used very effectively and very well. I have a little just trying to find out how much time they have left. Creator still not back yet. This could not look too great for the bench if he doesn't come back.
Yeah, I think what you could have seen is Matson come out on the Sombra instead of. I think he started off on the Widow, if I'm correct.
He did.
Because I think if you had that Sombra, he could build up an EMP, hack everyone because the bench was so clumped up that it would have been a very easy 6-man EMP. And if you're able to pick off the Bastion or the Mercy, that's a lot of damage or healing gone for the side of the bench, and that very well could have been the map.
It very well could have been. And I mean, I just don't know what to expect coming from this next fight because both sides have completely game-changing ultimates. That Molten Core, or that Molten Floor, or the Shadow coming up from Privet could both be huge. But on the flip side, you have TIE Fighter and Tyler, both with these, massive ults that could completely change the tide of the fight. I think this is really going to come down to who has the better ultimate usage.
Especially, I think Cat might be able to build up one more visor by the time this round ends. But I think you could also argue that Slimewill or Silvertails Silvertalls might also be able to build up an ult, although they are much further away than Cat is.
Yeah, and we will see Creator back in the lobby, and the bench is ours. So now we're just waiting for that R from DC, and we will be getting right back into it. There it actually is. Tyler instantly coming back with the R, and again, unpaused, and we are ready to get back into this. And double cap just trying to set up for this dive right now, waiting for their Ana to come back from spawn. And it's interesting to note that Kenobi is the one on the Ana, and it's not Grim. Grim is normally the one on the Flex support, but it seems like maybe Grim has the better Mercy or Kenobi has the better Ana. Something of the sort could be happening there. Madsen poked down pretty early, as is TIE Fighter taking huge damage early on. There it is, there's the bomb. The Immortality Field isn't out. Yeah, it gets Silver Pills actually! That's a huge early pick.
How did Silvertalls get picked by that?
I have no idea, but TIE Fighter both supports are down. The Shatter is out. Kante is down from it. Down as he is dead. The res is there. And it looks like the team wipe could be coming out from double cap. It's just Empty Grin. Actually, as I say that, Empty Grin is down and out.
The Nano Mercy!
The Nano Mercy! Oh, you love to see it. Double cap running away. 3-0, not a single point won from the bench. GG's to double cap taking the series to 3-0.
That's aside from that last map, that was very dominant from the side of double cap. They played that extremely well.
I think you can even argue that this map was pretty dominant from double cap. I mean, being able to full hold Volskaya, that is a quite the hard task to do just in itself.
This is Gibraltar, not Volskaya.
This is in fact Gibraltar. You know what? It in fact is. Pepega casters, am I right? But
And
yeah,
we're scuffed. We're scuffed.
we are in fact scuffed. But I mean that's just being able to full hold Gibraltar, no matter what, is a task in itself. So being able to do that is very good, and this is a good showing from Double Cap that no matter what team it is, and even if they have Kate on Soldier, for freak's sake, even if they have Kate on Soldier, they are still the dominant team that they have made themselves out to be.
Definitely. I honestly think you gotta look at Cat as player of the match here for Double Cap. He's just been doing. He just did so much work on that Zarya, and even on the legs in that last map of Gibraltar. I kind of want to get an interview from him.
You know who I want to interview from? I kind of want to interview from TIE Fighter. You know?
Yeah, the only reason why I said Cat is because he was playing all 3 maps, and he could, I have a feeling that there might be a little bit of a BM coming out from him, especially winning on the legs.
Do you want to go for Kate then? Let's get Kate in here.
Yeah, let's get Kate in here.
But yeah, I mean, Kate, I keep
Cat,
going
whatever.
Too. He is just looking like one of, if not the best player in Inter, just all of Inter. He looks like one of the best, and it's absolutely nuts how he can go from Zarya to Soldier like that. But it's like Cat doesn't want a.
Maybe Tyler then?
Yeah, I think we get TIE Fighter. I honestly kind of want to hear TIE Fighter because this is actually the first map he's played.
Really?
Yeah, this is the first map he's played all season so far, and I think it would be pretty cool to have TIE Fighter in here.
Yeah, let's do that then, if they are willing to.
No, both of our production people both said TIE Fighter then, which is pretty funny. I don't know. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hopefully we can get TIE Fighter in here. He did a lot of work on that D.Va, coming up clutch when he needed it. And I mean, just in general, TIE Fighter looked very good on the D.Va. Just absolutely insane. TIE looked very good on D.Va, and he looked even just as synergized with Tyler as Kate did, which is just a complete other testament to this team.
And it looks like we will be getting TIE Fighter for the interview, and sure enough, here they are.
How's it going?
Good. How did it feel to get a 3K D.Va bomb on your first League Zero map of the season?
It's pretty good because for the most part, my D.Va bombs are usually my worst part of D.Va. I'm still working on that, so. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I just kind of tried to hold point as long as possible, and yeah, and it just kind of exploded everybody. So.
I mean, that's kind of the job of D.Va bomb, and at the end of the day, if you don't mind me asking, what was the call going in putting Cat on the legs?
Because Cat, his tracking's insane, as you see on Zarya, but he always wants to play. I've actually played fucking. Oh, sorry.
Language.
Sorry, it just came out of a game. Sorry about that. Anyway, his scan is actually really insane, as he plays both Widow. He can play pretty much any of them. I haven't seen his McCree yet, but he's just kind of nuts just in anything he plays, really.
I mean, yeah, I think he built up 3 attack visors on that defense, I believe, which, that's very impressive. What was your reaction seeing that Bastion Torb comp coming out from the bench on your attack round?
It just kind of, I mean, at first it was just kind of okay. It's just kind of general because whenever you get held on Gibraltar first point, your default is to go cheese comp. So it wasn't too surprising, but it was just kind of why. More of a question of why would
fair
you
enough.
Fair enough.
You got any questions?
No, I think you pretty much covered it all. It was
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Any departing words that you have, TIE Fighter?
No, we're just DC's. It's just easy for DC.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, fair enough. You guys did win 3-0. So congrats on the win. hope to see you
Thank
next
you.
week.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And that will be concluding this week 2 match, DC versus the Bench. Thank you everyone who came out and watched it. This was supposed to be, I believe, Me6 versus GZG Guangzhou Gangsters, but that match will be on Monday, so it will come out at a later date. Sorry for anyone who was coming here expecting that. But yeah, unfortunately, this is the game that you got. Not unfortunately, but fortunately, this is the game that you got. I believe it was a pretty decent replacement for the game that we were supposed to see, and I think it was a very good showing from both teams. Again, I was your playcaster Chungus, here with my colorcaster Alpha Omega.
Yeah, thank you for watching. See you again tomorrow night at 6 p.m. for whoever's playing. I don't know.
Yep. Thank you everybody who came out, and also give a big shout out to Pendy for streaming the match. Thank you, and Zakaro for hosting the lobby. And that will about wrap it up. Thank you everybody for coming, and see you guys next match.
Don't get tilted.